Hello everybody and welcome back to part 5 of my playthrough of Final Fantasy II on the Pixel Remaster. Catching up quickly on where we got to last time. We should be at 32 entries in the bestiary now, or if you've encountered everything I have, or 31 if you haven't encountered the captain. It's a key one to note, and we've got all the chests in every location apart from Finn. We're carrying straight off of the last episode where we finished Kashwan Keep and Snow Cavern. Rip Joseph, miss you the most. But we've replaced him with Gordon now, who will be in our party for a little while. And we've also visited Chocobo Forest, just south of where we are now. So as long as you've got everything on track with where I am, we're good to go. Make sure you don't do what I do here. Make sure you go straight back into Kashwan Keep and pick up the Sunfire. I'm an idiot, and I will go all the way back to Altair and wonder why certain things don't happen, because there should be a cutscene that happens as we attempt to leave Kashwan Keep and whatnot, and it doesn't. And also make sure you visit Chocobo Forest, because this is the only time we're really going to be nearby. You can always visit this at any point, it's not a missable location, but you won't be here. So as you can see here, I'm back at Altair, just having a quick heal up, and then I'm going to head inside to the Rebel hideout to have a chat to everybody. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to Puft first and notice that despite Hilda saying that she was going to come join us with Cid, he's still there. And we can still rent it. As I was in Altair, everybody has the same dialogue as they had before. And yeah, you can still request travel and stuff. So we're clearly not. We clearly haven't triggered what needs to happen. So make sure when you exit Kashwan Keep, similar to what's going to happen now, you head straight back in, and you walk up and interact with the Sunfire. Hopefully not get an encounter first. There you go, and make sure you do this. Sorry for wasting a little bit of your time there. But there we go, we've got Eagle's Torch, and now we're good to go. So now we want to head back all the way to Altair, but as we leave this location we're going to get a quick bit of a cutscene. But yeah, we're going to retain Gordon in the party for a little while. And we're gonna visit one or two more locations. So you can see as we go to leave, here an airship nearby. And this must be Hilda and Cid on their way to help us, but they're gonna get captured by the Dreadnought. And yeah, just looking at that, the size of the Dreadnought is absolutely massive compared to the airship we've been riding on. And they get taken away. So I think we're gonna have to go rescue them. So next thing we're going to need to do, after we get a random encounter, is head all the way back to Altair. Correctly so this time. And I expect start forming a rescue mission to go and rescue, specifically Hilda, but Cid's not going to be a bad person to go and rescue either. So the way to get back, head up to the top right, through the mountain pass, and then the same way we've always been visiting. Up here, all the way around to the left. And then left a bit further and down. There is only so far we can take the Chocobo, because obviously we use the canoe to get over a large portion of water just before we get back to Altair. So you end up having to dismount from the Chocobo over here, but we've gotten most of the way there, so the Chocobo's been very good. And apparently when it runs off the screen it can just run over water, but when we're using it, it can. Which is a bit of a shame, because that would be nice. But future games will add that. So here we are back in Altair. Head straight back into the hideout, and then there's a lot of characters that have a lot more dialogue. Because they'll recognise that Hilda's been captured, or they came to come and join us. We've got the Sunfire and whatnot, but yeah, she's been captured, and it's probably the rescue mission we need to prioritise over everything else. And hey, if she's on the Dreadnought, potentially we can take out the Dreadnought as well as rescue Princess Hilda and Cid at the same time. Why she remains on the Dreadnought, I don't know. You'd think they'd drop her off some high security prison, but who knows? And yeah, we're just trying to work out where the Dreadnought could be. And this guy still doesn't believe in us, but at some point soon that attitude will change. So you can go speak to the king as well, and Minwu. So he'll mention that she was meant to come and join us, but unfortunately she was unable to. And then you'll also want to interact with the king in here as well. You can interact with me, ask the dialogue, ask the keywords to people if you want to, but you don't need to. So yeah, that's all we need. Actually, I believe you need to ask... Yeah, we need to ask Minwu about the Dreadnought. And then once we're done, we're ready to go. And we need to head all the way to the other side of the map. Basically, where we just were on that continent, we need to go all the way to the south of that continent. But to get there, we're going to have to go a slightly different way. So it might be worth doing a little bit of grinding up here if you need to, or you feel like you've not been completely one-shotting everything that easily. So if you want to just give it a go and see how you fare, just make a save here and be ready to come back to it if you need. But we basically need to head all the way to the top left so that we come to the continent on the right-hand side at the bottom right, and then proceed all the way up. And you shouldn't be able to miss it because we're looking for the giant Dreadnought that we just saw steal the airship. So it's going to be a long walk up to the top left here, so unless I get any new encounters that we're looking for, of which there's one that we could potentially find that's a missable enemy, but there's a few chances we can get him, I will stop talking and catch you again then. Aha! So this is the last missable enemy we're looking for in this area, the Phorusracos. It's basically an upgraded version of the Sprinter. You may have found this already, and if so, congrats, because it's a little bit of a rarer encounter, and is one that disappears at some point during the game. But yeah, just wail on it, it's not too tough, and continue heading up, and I'll join you again once we get close to the Dreadnought. And here we are, as you can see, we've come up through the bottom right of the map, and we're below the Dreadnought now. And we just get a massive encounter of those missile enemies. So this is definitely another stat check area. The Dreadnought is very, very tough, and we can only go in here once. So there's 4 enemies we're going to be looking for in here, and one of which is another missile enemy, but it's not only encounterable in here, but we'll get it in here just to make sure that it's knocked off. We can never come back to the Dreadnought. This is a one and done area. As soon as we're finished, it will no longer be here for the obvious reason. So first things you want to do, walk up to the first guard, interact with him, and we'll want to give him the pass that we got a few dungeons ago, and he'll let us through. Apparently they just have no clue who we are. Now I believe all of the soldiers are interactable. I believe I missed showing the shadow in the last episode, so we'll cover it now. But yeah, nothing too concerning to worry about. Same with the gas, unless we start getting paralysed on both hits, which they just did to us. But yes, just bear in mind that you will have to go through a lot of fights clearing through this dungeon. So staying tip-top health is very important. Werepanther's here. Got about 200 HP, I believe, but can inflict, I believe it's thunder on you all as a multi-hit attack, so worth taking them out as soon as you can. Now, top left up here is the only chest in this main room, and these doors are all entranceways to encounter rooms. There's nothing in them. But yeah, just make sure you stay relatively topped up during this encounter, and you'll also be able to start leveling as sooner here because you'll start getting inflicted a lot with blindness. Down here is to go to the next chest. So here we are on the second floor. You might notice there's a green block for the way in. But now we're finally going to encounter the magicians, which you may have encountered these a lot earlier in the game. They were a rare encounter just north of Finn and Altair where we start off. Not very tough, and they come alongside probably the same stat line as the soldier which we dealt with before, but can cast spells at you. So they should probably be the priority in each fight. And obviously the sergeants and soldiers we've dealt with a lot of times. And multi-hit magic spells for these kind of fights will be good. Thankfully, we've got our fire spell relatively decently leveled up, so it'll do nice damage to everybody. And so like 2 rounds of casting that will be enough. And as you can see, Maria's MP stat is starting to hit a much higher tier when we're at 97 after casting a couple of spells. If you quickly want to get your MP stat up in this game, just sit there outside of an inn casting spells every single engagement. This is a very long fight just because of the tier of the enemies we're fighting. Soldiers could get down quite easily, the sergeants are a lot tougher. And we're splitting our attacks between them to try and take multiple down in one go. And Maria just does no damage to these armoured enemies at the moment. Sometime soon we will get an upgraded bow, and she'll start keeping track. But until then, some of these fights, or at least for her, she won't be doing too much damage. But we should go through this one in only a matter of more moments. And it should be a good stat increase for everybody as well. There we go. Yep, quite a few different weapon stats upgraded, and we've grabbed the sleep blade, which has the chance of putting enemies to sleep, as well as got a nice attack stat. I don't think I ever get the sleep trigger to go off this game, or at least while I'm using it, but it's definitely something to bear in mind as an extra aspect of the sword. There's a lot of weapons like that that will have an additional effect, and you can always look at the extra information about them. But yeah, the only way to go through is that side route there. You can't actually go through the gate. There's no way to turn it up, to go through it. So now we've been there. The next area we want to go to is the stairs to the top right. And up to that door. And then we're also going to end up eventually getting to the stairs in the bottom right. At least I believe that's the order we're going to be going in. Yes, it is. And there's still 2 more enemies we're looking for in this area. And yeah, you're going to get inflicted with blindness a lot. So just keep leveling up sooner when you've got it to clear it off. So through here and go down the stairs, and it'll take us to another area where we already got the chest in the top right, but this section at the bottom was inaccessible from over there. So there's 4 more chests we're trying to get, 2 on the far right and then 2 on the far left. And that's all we're going to be doing in here, so other than getting encounters, just run through and get them. Wraith and a ghost, light potion, and something we're not too bothered about. And as you can see on the left there is Cid and Hilda. Priority number 1 in our rescue mission. Werepanthers can poison you as well, so just be wary of that. And yeah, again, just make sure you keep yourself topped up. Ambushes could be a real problem. There we go, a dark bow. No new encounters there. Heading all the way around. We'll grab the last chest, and then we'll get to interacting with Hilda and Cid as our rescue So Thieves' Gloves, these are a nice piece of equipment that I prioritise on Maria. Because they're just good generic stat increases and up your agility for evasion and whatnot. Nope, no reason for us to go back up here. And annoyingly we get ambushed and blinded again. Yeah, ideally you want to try and get Asuna and Basuna to around level 6. It's the key amount for you to deal with a lot of other stats effects you'll get in the game. But yes, ignore me, just go and deal with Hilda and Cid in here. So run straight up and interact with the gate. I forgot that if you speak to Cid, it immediately triggers the next dialogue. I was meant to speak to Hilda first. It's a little bit of a show off of what's going to happen soon. But yeah, we're just going to speak to Cid and he's going to escort Hilda out of here. And a little bit weird Hilda didn't speak to us or anything like that, but something that happens. And there we go, that's the next enemy we're looking for, the Stunner. Just an upgraded version of the Were-Rat. But not the HP increase isn't that high. We get poisoned, and now yeah, we want to head all the way back to where we just were, and then take the stairs at the very bottom right of that core main room we were in. And there's 2 more enemies we're looking for in this area. Those being the Helldiver, which is a missable one, but there's other areas in the game you can encounter that, and the Hill Gigas, which is a tough enemy. Similar to like the Adamantoids, it's one that I don't like fighting. So head all the way to the bottom right of this area. Mines and balloons are something we've fought before, but self-destruct is still going to be a problem with us. To the stairs over here. Head on down, and it'll take us to a room where there's only one way to proceed around. No chests or anything to pick up either. Just head all the way around and through the door into the top left. And we'll end up in that middle section at some point soon. Lots of guards walking around. More poison, but it does give us a way to level up Asuna, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. And yeah, if you want to level up Asuna and Basuna, just cast them in combat. Like, you don't even need to have something you're getting rid of. As long as you're casting the spell, the level of it will go up. And now we're in a very big room. So the middle area is where we want to go. And then, but there's 4 chests on the right hand side. And one of them will contain one of the enemies that we're looking for. Hopefully on the way there we'll encounter the other enemy we're looking for. But yes, if you do interact with the NPCs around, you will end up fighting a captain. We are strong enough to beat them now, but it will be a very difficult fight. So if you want to get the captain in your bestiary and you feel like you're strong enough to do so, feel free to engage one of these, but don't do it multiple times. Each fight is tough enough to get through. Magic will still be your best bet because your physical attacks will probably still bounce off of them, maybe do 100 damage at most, but sustained magic into them will take them out. Because the armor will block a lot less. A little bit more, a couple more rounds of spell casting, and it should go all through. Hopefully we might get one of the really cool and rare items that he can drop. I say rare items, we might get one of the cool items he can drop, which is a much earlier way of getting it. Come on, just go down before he takes us out. Prefer not to have Firion die and then miss out on all the XP. Good heal from Guy. Firecast. This is using up a lot of my MP though. There we go, it's finally down. And do we get any of the cool items? Very long death animation. Just nice level ups of things. No gil, but we got a flame bow, which is amazing for Maria. Definitely, if you manage to get one, put that on. A lot of damage increase and a lot of accuracy increase, and it's an elemental attack, so she's going to start doing a lot more damage. If your MP starting to run low, feel free to use potions and whatnot if you've stocked up on them already. You don't need to worry about only being able to use magic. And yeah, make sure you sort your inventory from time to time because it gets very eclectic. Oh yeah, so don't go up the stairs, go and grab these 4 chests over here first. And the... oh, that's the other enemy we're looking for, Helldiver. Not too tough, but are missable. You can end up encountering these out on the open world, mainly when you're sailing. But otherwise, worst case, we can encounter them is in here. The first leftmost 2 chests have regular items, the rightmost chest has items in, the left middle one has the Gigas in, so we need to sort of set up ready for this encounter. The main gauche is a pretty good weapon, and I'd recommend equipping it onto somebody if you need to. But yeah, we're at the point now where everybody is probably going to start equipping 2 weapons other than Maria. And the Giant's Helm as well, just a strength increase. But yeah, just want to make sure everybody's geared up as best as possible. You can feel free to switch Guy over to multiple weapons. I haven't yet, but it's something I will be doing soon. So Gigas, Soldier, and a Magician. Just take out the Soldier and the Magician first. And then we can deal with the Gigas because he's going to take a lot to go down. He's got decent armor and a lot of health, and he hits reasonably hard. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of turns to go through him. Similar to every time we fight like the land turtle or the adamantoids. Again, spell casting is definitely your way to go, but if you're running lowish on MP and you've still got some more of the dungeon to go through, just wail on him and eventually he'll go down. As you can see there, the amount of attacks he does becomes a problem because he might do 1 hit, which only hits us for about 100, or he'll do 2 to 3 to 4 hits, and it can be close to one-shotting your character, or just one-shot your character. Let's go on to casting some spells now. But yeah, the flame bow, as you can see, augments the fact that Maria doesn't need to cast spells, because her attack will do some amount of damage, or if she gets a decent multi-hit, it will do enough, and yeah. Gordon's HP stat is low enough, because he's not been in as many fights, that he immediately got taken out. And gets no XP from that battle. But we learnt the life spell, so we can bring him back. And we can grab the ice shield, which is similar to the gold shield, but just gives us ice resistance. Whereas the gold shield gives us resistance to poison. And yeah, either use the Phoenix down or life and bring back Gordon or anybody you have that goes down, because full party is better to have because it's somebody else for them to attack. And yeah, guys ran out of MP now. The joint highest cure, so Therium will always be my next one. I always like Maria having MP ready to go in case we get to the end of the dungeon. So head on up to the middle section now. We've got all of the encounters we need in this area. We're going to go to a maze-like area. So here we are in the middle of the floor we're at. Continue through. Head on down. Just have a quick check of the bestiary. So again, you should be the same as me, 38 or 37 if you haven't fought one of the captains. Again, the captain is still optional at this point. So now we're in a big maze room, because although the map doesn't show it, there's going to be a lot of captains just stood in our way. And as you know, when you actually beat them, it doesn't get rid of them. So we want to head up and left. Then we want to head all the way down bar 1 row. Again, this is why this dungeon's a stat check, because you've got a long way to go. So all the way down bar 1. Through here, all the way down. Then we want to go all the way to the end bar 1 row again. So we want to stop here, go up, and to the right. Just double checking I do get the right route. Up, right, all the way to the top. Left 2. So 1, we can get an encounter there. Into the second one, down, right, all the way down. And then left, and then through the door. And assuming we get no more encounters, we are done here. Run all the way up to the engine. Nothing in here to get. We've got all the chests. And we've got the same as the bestiary I showed you earlier. We're at 38, or 37 if you haven't fought the captain. Again, not required. And the enemy in here that is missable, I would advise you try and get it now so you have to worry about trying to get it later, is the Helldiver. Walk up to the engine, interact, or get an encounter directly before it. Interact. Get rid of poison. And use the key item, Sunfire on it. We're going to toss it in. And the engine's going to go critical. We're going to need to run. The Dark Knight turns up. And apparently we recognise the voice from somewhere, but who it could be, who knows? Give us anything more than that. Thankfully, we're done with the dungeon. Everything we watch is just them escaping on foot, no encounters to go. Thank God the alarm just makes a buzzing sound other than the one in Final Fantasy X in Home, if you've ever heard it, where it just sounds like he's saying, "I'm annoying, ha." God, it doesn't feel like we were in here for very long with the way they're running out. It takes them maybe a minute to escape. It took me about 20 minutes to clear through, if not longer. No, probably longer, probably about half an hour, 40 minutes, all the encounters. We get into Cid's airship that I don't know where it was when it was attached to the Dreadnought, but apparently it was still there. And we get flown away to safety. Nice long flight back over just open water. And we're back at Altair. And Cid just drops us off and leaves. I assume Hilda's got dropped off as well. But that'll be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next part, which should be uploaded very, very soon. Otherwise, feel free to give me any feedback in the comments. Again, if you'd like to see all the encounters actually populated, that is one I'd keenly like to know. But otherwise, enjoy and goodbye.